So I was challenged because as what Kurt Cake 5K.
Yeah,
Kurt
he did that to me too.
He was like, "Hey, I got Frankie's top 10 Switch games. How come EJ you're on the podcast? Why don't you talk about Switch games?" And so I thought about it and I made a little list. So here's the games that aren't on the list that I don't know. I just feel like I need to explain why they're not. Mario Kart 8. I don't play it. I played it when I was on the Wii, and I think I enjoyed it. But when on the Switch, for some reason, it doesn't grab me. I don't know why. It just doesn't make an impression on me. It's not on the list.
Does it feel a little? Does Mario Kart 8 feel a little inhuman? Does it feel a little bit like auto-generated?
For some reason, on the Wii U, it didn't. And then on the Switch, especially because you don't unlock anything at first, like it gives you like everything, and it just feels like I didn't earn anything.
You have to consider that the Switch version now, with all the updates and all the new content, has I think more than double the courses that the original had. So I
understand. I understand that completely. But it just doesn't. Even when you can, every time they announce these booster packs, I'm just like, I don't care. I just don't care.
Really? I've made it a point every time I've buddied up with some people and we played the new courses every time they drop. So
if you're having fun with it, great. I'm not. So anyway,
it's easy to be deceived. So, I think on a past podcast I had said, I was like, yeah, something about the Sonic Superstars engine, something about the physics don't feel right. And somebody like presented to me, they're like, it's the exact same engine as physics engine as Sonic Mania. And I was like, well, it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, I wouldn't believe that.
Doesn't feel like it. The next game that's not on the list is Super Mario Wonder.
Not on the fucking list?
I like it, but I don't love it. I think it's pretty, but I wish I had more bosses and more boss variety. I hate when the
bosses are bad.
You get to the end of a world and there's not even a boss, or it's just Bowser Jr. again. I don't know. Hot take, new Super Mario Bros. U is better. Anyway.
Better? I love New Super Mario U, but I wouldn't say it's better.
No, I think it's better. I do. I think I have more fun playing. I had more fun playing, and I think there's more fun variety.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever thought less of EJ in my life.
No, like that fucking acorn, man. Turn into a dirty squirrel. I love it.
You can get your acorn in Mario Maker anytime you want. Mario Wonder.
All right, next game that's not on this list is Animal Crossing. We discussed this before.
Good.
I played a lot.
You don't like Animal Crossing?
Fuck Animal Crossing.
Nice.
I played a lot of the 3DS version, and I just don't feel like I need to go down that road again. Super Smash Brothers Ultimate is also not on this list. I don't play it. I've enjoyed the 3DS version many years ago, and I feel like I don't need to do anything else besides that. So, all right, here's another category that's not the list. It's games I regret not playing more.
Oh, okay. Fair.
It's only one game. It's Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which I enjoyed a lot, but I've not played enough of it to make a good call on it. But I thought it was cool.
Does that mean that 1 and 2, does that extend to those, or are those on the list?
I haven't played enough of them.
You haven't played enough of any of them.
But I own Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Okay.
And I played enough of it to know I like it, but I had a lot of videos to edit, so I never got through it.
All 3 are on Switch. Why did you start with 3?
I like the look of it. Like when I saw the trailers, I thought like it had like a cool vibe to it. I don't know. There was something about the art style and the little cat girl and the main character playing like the little flutes, which really evoked some, I don't know, cool feelings in me. So that's why I got it. Anyway, so let's go to the list proper, starting with number 10.5. Is Pokemon 10.5.
Okay.
It's Pokemon Violet, but only the end mission.
Really? The end mission is incredible. I will
because the end mission of Pokemon Violet is like my favorite story segment of any Pokemon game ever.
I think I agree, honestly.
Because it has like a really kind of heartbreaking whether you play it, it's either your dad or your mother, depending on what version you play, or the character's mother or father, and it's kind of like a time machine, but also like a death grieving allegory. It's really good and it's really fun and it's really interesting. But I think the game is a mess. I played some of the other Pokemons and I went back to Pokemon Violet, and it's horrible. You really have to get used to that horrible.
Its technical execution is like beyond words with how like shitty it looks.
And it stinks because I think it's very ambitious. Like I like a lot of the gameplay aspects. It just need like another year, another console to actually be good. But that's the story in that last mission is really great.
And as far as the mainline Pokemon games go, like that like the last story mission in Violet is unparalleled in like any of them.
Yeah. So in the proper list, number 10 is Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Okay.
Plus Donkey Kong. I think it's the best, like one of the best modern 2D platformers. I know it's a Wii U game, but this is how I played it. I played it on the Switch.
This is the first time you played it was on Switch?
Yeah, I played it only on the Switch, yes. And
does that still retail for $60 fucking?
Yeah,
Nintendo games don't go down.
But I think it's worth every $60. You get Funky Kong, just the way the backgrounds and the environments interact with the main course is just amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty challenging too, but without being like the Rareware SNES challenge.
Number 9 is the obligatory Sonic Mania. I mean,
oh, nice.
It's the best Sonic game since Mario 3 and Knuckles. So it's got to be on the list just for that feat alone.
Well, Frankie put it at number 1, right?
I did. It's my favorite Switch game.
Yeah.
Next is Metroid Prime Remastered. And
that's kind of fair, right? I mean, you get a pretty deluxe experience that you can't get anywhere else.
I think it was like the surprise of it too. It came out of nowhere. The way they like remade the assets, and I think it's like the best looking Switch game.
It looks amazing. I'll give it that.
I play it in handheld mode. I'm like, I don't think any other game like feels like this, looks like this, and it plays so well. It's the best. Yeah,
I'm very glad that you have it below the other Metroid game. Is all I'm going to say.
Dread.
Well, you'll find out.
Oh well, I mean, if you don't, I'll riot.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land is next. So wait, that's 7.
Really, you too?
So yeah, I think Kirby and the Forgotten Land is a great. Just a great evolution of that. I think it's the first 3D Kirby game, right? Or the first one.
The first of its kind. They did a lot of kind of like 1.5D type stuff in the past, but this is the first like the Mario 3D worldification of Kirby, and it's quite successful. It feels like Kirby, and yet it's totally 3D and very good. Like very little barrier of entry for children too. I noticed.
That's where being a dad has changed both of your brain chemistries to even considering putting this game on a list like this. Because I don't think it would touch my top like 50, even though I think it's acceptable. I think it's fine, but
I think being a busy dad and it being like just easy breeze through it. It gives me like Mario Odyssey vibes with some of the design choices. So I don't know.
I think it's amazing at how it doesn't feel any different really than the 2D games. Like the switch to 3D really didn't change as much as you might think.
Yeah,
right. Like it feels
intuitive. Feels like Kirby. Yeah, feels like Kirby. So it's on the list. Zelda Link's Awakening remake.
Amazing. Yes,
that's fair. I think that's fair.
And that's I played it like a ton of times with Gabriel. He loves it. I love it. It has its own kind of magic to it.
Yeah.
I love the kind of almost like it's shooting a camera on like a miniature clay models, almost like it's just a great vibe. And a great remake.
Best 2D Zelda dungeons in the history of the series. I'm gonna say it.
And you think probably Gabe wouldn't have played the original?
No, he, like I said, he calls them pixely and small games.
Incredible theming. We can't just breeze by how awesome the theming and A Link to
they could have gone with
Awakening
they could have gone like a Link Between Worlds thing, or there's a lot of like other kind of more obvious ways they could have gone, and they decided to actually like create a new art style for this presentation of the game. I think that's awesome.
And the remix music is great. I like when you I think when you get like Marin on your team and she's following you, the overworld theme changes to like a flute. It's really cute.
The fact that the whole game, that like you're going to end up destroying the entire world by you succeeding. It's a great thing hanging over you the whole time.
It's melancholy. It's fun. Number 5 is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu.
Yes, I am so in support of this.
Wow.
It is the highest Pokemon game on the list.
It's the best. Those are the best Pokemon games on the Switch. I'm sorry, they are.
So to people who might be confused about what they are, they're sort of a remake of like Yellow, so first gen. But I think it does a lot to bring the Pokemon series forward. Like you have the Pokemon on the map a little bit. I like the catch mechanic is kind of inspired by.
They're
Pokemon
the anti-Violet. They're not ambitious, but they are polished to hell, and they're just a fun time.
Yeah, and then, like after you beat the game, there's like a trainers that you can like. They have like. I think it's like level 100 of each Pokemon, and you have to battle them. I love that aspect.
Really? Did you do all of them, or did you do a lot of them?
I did most of them. I think
really?
I think I had like a few left, and I gave up.
That's amazing.
Anyway, I loved it. I thought it was a great way to remake that game. It was kind of like a weird sequel to Gen 1 too, because some of the characters kind of were evolve, like because you didn't have Gary as a rival, you had somebody else, and then Gary was a character that you interacted with later.
Just a quick side note,
or Blue, I guess his name is.
Gloria is becoming a bit more into Pokemon, more than I ever was, and she's pretty into the cards, and she wants to, so we went when we were at the flea market, she picked up like a big stack of cards for like $5, and so I'm gonna have to learn how to play this fucking game.
Nobody knows the rules of the cards game. That's something you'll learn, is that only super nerds know the rules of the game.
I think she might actually want to play it. So I go to the card deck and I flip like the very first one. You know what I see for the first card that I look at?
What?
Some trainer named Gloria.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
That's awesome.
How crazy is that?
It's yeah. I couldn't get into the card game because I was introduced to Magic the Gathering first. So I saw the card game as a baby's game.
As a 20-something-year-old, I learned how to play it finally, and it's okay. I don't know. It's okay. I think I liked it better when I was a kid and we just played War with whoever had more HP. That's who won.
We're trying to avoid like screen time in the mornings and stuff, but she's kind of restless to play a game or do something kind of fun. I think maybe playing like a nerdy card game might be just what the doctor ordered.
Maybe. I mean, shoot, maybe you'd get into it.
Yeah.
So number 4 is Mario Odyssey. Mario Odyssey, I think is
that's low.
That's low. I think it's high.
That's pretty high.
Okay.
Well, I love its vibe, man. It's just crazy. Every kingdom is a little bit different, a little bit insane, and I like looking for those moons. I just like hanging. I like the way the Mario moves. I think he moves like so fun. Yeah. You can roll around. You can do the cap throw. You can jump on the cap, and then you can do a little dive, and then you like throw the cap again. It's awesome. And you go so far. And
you 100%ed it, right? You crazy person.
You got every moon?
Yes, I did get every moon.
That's the knock on that game, is that they repeat a lot of moons, and it's not fun to 100%. But I guess you wouldn't agree with that.
I did it. Well, I think it's just fun. I even did the jump rope one. That was awful.
I can't.
That was an awful one.
I've been trying since 2017 to do that fucking jump rope. I can't do it.
It was I did the jump rope, and then I did the movie capture, and I shared it to Twitter because I was so like, I don't share anything to Twitter besides my videos, but that was an accomplishment. The next one, which is that's 3. Number 3 is Breath of the Wild.
Nice.
Zelda Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom did not make the list. I think Breath of the Wild, it did that game, and I think that was the game. It was novel. I enjoyed exploring everything. I loved getting all. I actually did like going and getting all the shrines. I actually like the mechanic of your weapons being breaking all the time. It made things feel really scrappy. You were like picking up weapons, you were throwing them, you were like, oh, my weapon broke, I'm gonna shoot you in the face with an arrow. I don't know, it's just something like, I love that kind of scrappy feel of the combat.
So why no Tears of the Kingdom then? Just for redundancy's sake? You didn't want to have both?
I don't enjoy Tears of the Kingdom. Like
really?
It's like I enjoy it, but it doesn't have the same magic. It's like you can't go home again.
Yeah,
I did Breath of the Wild, and it's a fun version of that. But I think I'd rather have. It's like there's nothing that will beat like getting out of that cave and just looking at that overworld and being like, oh, I can go there, I can go there, I can go there, and you can't really. I don't know, you can't go home.
I think it's a strange case when you compare these games side by side, because I think if you do that, then Tears of the Kingdom just blows Breath of the Wild away in basically like every quantifiable category. But, it wasn't in the same place and time. There wasn't like the excitement of a new Nintendo system and like all this hoopla surrounding Tears of the Kingdom. So it could just never have the same impact that Breath of the Wild had. Especially like the shrines. The shrines in Breath of the Wild, like, I think it's been noted that a lot of them repeat and like they're not always the best, where in Tears of the Kingdom, like they're all unique, and I think the puzzles are overall just way stronger.
Yeah, I agree with that. And like, I bet if you, in a few years, if you asked Gabriel what his favorite Zelda game is, he'll probably say Tears of the Kingdom, because I think has more of what he likes. And it's also the first, weirdly, it's the first like of those two he's played. So
yeah,
it'll probably imprint on him. Because he was saying today, he was like, I love that you can see things in the distance, you can go to them.
I agree with you, though. Like, if I were ranking these, like, I probably wouldn't even consider Tears of the Kingdom, but Breath of the Wild would be way up there for me.
Yeah. So, number 2 is Metroid Dread. I think it's a great Metroid game. It's not as good as Super Metroid, but damn, it's good. It's a, like... they took a break from that 2D style for a while, and when they came back, they showed there's so many indie Metroidvanias out there, and they came back and they're like, hey, we're gonna show you where we still got it. Yeah, we still got it, and we still got our groove. And so Metroid Dread, I love there's like a kind of a twist near the end of the game. Where you release like X-Parasite into the world, which kind of changes the dynamic of the whole game, which is really fun. I love the last boss is super hard and super terrifying. Just because it's kind of like you hear about the Chozo throughout Metroid, and they're always this dead race, and then you kind of face like this ultimate warrior of the Chozo, and it's pretty awesome.
The smoothest Switch game too, like buttery smooth, controls like a dream. Especially like the more abilities you get, the better Samus controls.
That's the litmus test of a good Metroidvania is you have to feel super powerful when you get to the end of the game,
and you do.
Have to feel, and it has to feel good. It has to control well, it has to feel good, and then Metroid Dread does that.
Great funneling, like the game always chauffeurs you where they want you to go through the world, even though you can break off and do your own thing.
Yeah, it's almost like to a fault in some ways. You're always where you need to be.
Yeah.
Some people were like, I still got lost. I'm like, how? I don't know how you could,
I would get lost.
I think you have to overthink things if you to get lost. And maybe a lot of
remember I got lost in Zero Mission. I don't know what the hell I was doing.
I know, it's like the Chozo statues are like, oh, and it shows you the path.
I'm like, what do I do?
There's a glowing thing on the map, Frankie.
Huh?
And number 1 is Bowser's Fury.
Nice. Good choice.
Okay.
That is, it's like my perfect Mario game.
Jason did you hear Jason? He went, okay.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's lame choice. I'm sorry.
What? No, wrong. First off, the music is fantastic. Like every single little area has awesome music, and I love how it just seamlessly transitions. Like you get to the like entry gate, and it gives you the music. It just feels great every single time. I love I love it. It's like, this is the Mario game that I wanted kind of Odyssey more to be with. It's like all like the world is all connected. I know it's small and it feels like a tech demo, but it's exactly what I want a Mario to be.
When compared to Odyssey, it's a lot more video gamey with like abstract shit just floating all over the place than, you know, Odyssey's like actual worlds.
Right.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's still fun, and I love like the Lake Lapcat theme. I love if I have one criticism of it is I wish Bowser was less furious.
Yeah, I agree. I'm like, it's a little like that. You should be able to tune like the frequency with which he shows up,
or at least after you beat the game. Maybe you can just like toggle him off or something. But I thoroughly enjoy getting every single cat shine in this game. I replay it a lot, especially because my son likes it a lot.
But how fucking cool for Nintendo to be like, hey, sorry we made you wait so many years for 3D World, because they could just totally release 3D World by itself, right? They didn't have to package in a whole new Mario game. You know, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and being a part of that package, because Mario 3D World is one of my favorite Mario games too, just because it does feel like the other direction Mario 64 could have gone, and then they just went and did it.
Yeah, I think probably the 3D platforming precision just wouldn't have worked on the 64 hardware. It probably was better to have it be sandboxy, but you could imagine like just 3D platforming levels, right? You know, it's great. I think it's really cool.
Those are the most annoying stages in 64, the ones that are precision platforming stages, like Rainbow Ride. Nobody likes Rainbow Ride.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the list. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments. Please give me a thumbs up. What's your favorite Switch games? I'll tell you what's your favorite Switch games. I'll read every single one of these comments.
Jason, I mean, before we go, do you have a favorite Switch game? Have you thought about that?
Oh, not at all. There's too many games, man. There's too many games. I could just be boring and just say like Breath of the Wild. I don't even know, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, you think about it now.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.